city still mourns.
Boo.
Just a guess, Seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lady Herald.
You're one of Leliane's people. What have you found?
The Chantry Mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then. They wish to protect the people? From us?
We knew there would be some kind of reaction.
But I didn't expect the Templars to make an appearance.
The people may just be assuming what the Templars will do. I've heard of no concrete plans.
You think the Order's return to the fold, maybe? To deal with us upstarts?
I know Lord Seeker Lucius. I can't imagine him coming to the Chantry's defense. Not after all that's occurred. Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
The avenue of her reflective thought inscribed upon a plaque. Our Lady and the actors of her rise and fall, her message and visage are worth repeating. Mafarath's blood guilt, beneath scratched by a vandal, and his head suddenly weighs too much. Mafarath's remorse, beneath scratched by a vandal, at meeting a low door frame. Mafarath's regret, beneath scratched by a vandal, about his unfortunate hair. Mafarath's penitence, beneath scratched by a vandal, and unrelated headache. The avenue of her reflective thought. The avenue is inspirational. The avenue is inspirational, but wise travelers do not linger in their respects, not just because the bazaar awaits, but because the area before the back-turned statues is treacherous. Local legend has it that the child empress Amy abused the opportunity of religious repose to relieve herself beneath the gaze of Our Lady. Unable to discipline the toddling leader, her attendants instead chastised the statues and had them turned in supposed embarrassment. True or not, foolish youths dare each other to soil the spot in similar fashion, and a place of otherwise reverent thought always carries a faint odor about it. Excerpted and torn from a disposable walking tour of the capital by Philium a Bard. First Lion of Orlais, in respect to Emperor Alphonse Valmont. The Lion of Orlais, a repeating element dedicated to the great defenders otherwise noted. It is rumored that one is gold, one is bronze, and weighted with poison. One is chocolate, and one is watching. As the saying goes, dare we all a thief to test his back and learn which is most dangerous to try deny or lay. In truth, all are lead and leaf. Don't pretend to ride them too long, lest the mind give way. Excerpted and torn from a disposable walking tour of the capital by Philium a Bard. Grace of the Empire, North. A notice reads, this display reserved for discourse political, with attending professors of social matters from the University of Orlais. Note that all vendors of loftable groceries will be closed in the hour beforehand and for 1/2 hour after. The second Lion over Orlais, in respect to Duke Isidore d'Arlezon. Grace of the Empire West, a notice reads, this display reserved for presentations of affection as though private and also discounted spirits presented by company Misdirect Theater.
Good people of Val Royal, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery.
She just called the divine naive.
You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more.
Hey now.
Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. The Maker would send no help
Herald,
in our hour
not
of
prophet.
need.
You say I am the enemy. The breach in the sky is our true enemy. We must unite to stop it.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
Damn.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
You're not here to deal with the Inquisition.
As if there were any reason to.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement. Raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet. You should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
Templars, one of your own commands the Inquisition's forces. Join us as he did.
You're a mage. Your ties are worthless. They're all made traitors just by being in your company.
But Lord Seeker, what if she really was sent by the Maker? What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence. You have shown me nothing, and the Inquisition, less than nothing. Templars, Val Royal is unworthy of our protection. We march.
Well, that was that.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
Fortunately, the Templars aren't our only hope.
I wouldn't write them off so quickly. There must be those in the Order who see what he's become. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
First, let's go picket Mother Hivara.
This victory must please you greatly, Seeker Cassandra.
We came here seeking only to speak with the mothers. This is not our doing, but yours.
And you had no part in forcing our hand?
She's stuck on something.
Do not delude yourself. Now we have been shown up by our own Templars, in front of everyone. And my fellow clerics have scattered to the wind along with their convictions.
Why is she holding her side?
Just tell me one thing. Are you the Maker's
She was punched in the
chosen,
head.
as so many claim?
Haven't you already made up your mind? Why ask me now?
Because, despite all my fears, what if it's true? What if I have erred? I suppose it is out of our hands now. We shall all see what the Maker plans in the days to come.
You're obviously skeptical. What do you believe I am?
Our divine, Her Holiness is dead.
She's still
I have seen
dancing a
evidence
chick
for
over there.
everything, except what would comfort me.
That doesn't answer my question.
For you to be true, a great many things must be false. And if you are false, a great many things must have failed. There is chaos ahead, whatever your intentions.
So what happens now? Will the Chantry continue to denounce me?
We have already done so. And what good has it done us? Now it falls on us to select a new divine, if we can. And leave the next step to her.
Provided such a selection is even possible.
I truly don't know. Any revered mother who could have followed Justinia died at the Conclave. What becomes of us, and your Inquisition, is in the Maker's hands now.
Where is the Lord Seeker taking the Templars?
I can't begin to guess the Lord Seeker's mind. He could not have abandoned his intended role more completely.
There must be sense to what we can't see.
Must there? Rebellion seems popular in certain quarters, doesn't it, Seeker? Is crafting the Templars into a new power really any worse than declaring a rival to the Chantry itself?
What were you hoping the Lord Seeker would do exactly?
Put aside his war against the Mages and find common purpose against something much more dire.
You're expecting him to
Obviously,
do something
he has
that
other
you
plans.
yourself weren't willing to
With the
do.
knights vigilant slain at the Conclave, there is nothing more we can do.
Perhaps there is something we can do.
I'd like to believe that, Seeker. I truly would. I suppose we can expect renewed effort against the Mages from him, and yet more chaos.
How many Templars turned on the Chantry exactly?
They rebelled across Thedas. Some remained loyal, but not enough to call them the Order. The White Spire here in the capital was the largest garrison, but now it stands empty. Perhaps more shall flock to the Lord Seeker's banner now. How far has faith waned, I wonder?
How are people responding to all of this?
Despair. Fear. We mourn Her Holiness. The people look to the sky and wonder how long before terror comes for us all. There must be a way through this. Is it you? The Templars? The Maker's will? We abandoned our duties. We servants of the faith. Now we can only pray.
It's not too late. The Chantry could still help us and come out on top.
If only that were true.
What's to stop you from trying?
We are not looking for a winning horse. We are simply trying to do the right thing.
All right, Cassandra. There you go.
Excuse me, but is what they're saying real? The Inquisition's going to fix the hole in the sky?
That's what we're attempting, yes.
No one is doing anything. The Chantry's useless, and the Templars... Andraste. I never thought they'd abandon us. Listen, your camp will need food. I have contacts. We'll have deliveries there in days.
Yay,
you want
my
to
first
help the
agent.
Inquisition.
Never been part of something this big before, but if your Inquisition's going to seal the sky, I want to help.
What do you think, Cassandra?
I think the woman is asking you and not me.
Well, she is.
The Herald of Andraste. Yes, I understand. Haven is a mess, but we won't turn away anyone willing to help. Invite her, if it pleases you.
Come on, girl.
Head to Haven then. We
Yay.
need good people.
Agent
I
acquired.
don't know if I'm that, but it will be nice to see. Thank you.
And you'll notice the slightly altered textures for the Orlesian nobles, or people of Orlais. That's from the Dress Up, Dress Down mod. And I don't remember the mod offer, but if you look in the description below, I will have a link posted to their site on Nexus. I really do enjoy this. You can, because they don't, BioWare didn't differentiate between the textures every day and the textures at the Winter Palace during the ball. You have to load the Dress Down mod, and then before you get to the Winter Palace, remove that mod and install the Dress Up mod. So it will change the textures to something more fancy. But I find that's a very nice compromise, because you suddenly get to the ball and everybody's in more glittery outfits. So the day mod, basically the dress down mod, gives them better textures but more varied, much more beautiful, more saturated. And the dress up mod is obviously same principle, but it gives them more of an evening wear look, something that you would see at a grand ball, not just the stuff they've been walking around Orlais in. So the mod author thought that didn't make much sense, and I tend to agree. So I really appreciate this mod. It makes a difference and takes a little bit of maintenance and forethought, but not much at all. So you see that.
That was a change.
What's that?
Ooh,
An
that
arrow
was-
with a message?
Yeah,
Friends
so
among
there,
the
we'll go get that.
stunned and reeling.
So you can see they have some richer colors and a little bit more varied. Favors for friends. A message is attached, written in a large flowing hand and bordered with doodles. People say you're special. I want to help, and I can bring everyone. There's a baddie in Valorio. I hear he wants to hurt you. Have a search for the red things in the market, the docks, and round the cafe, and maybe you'll meet him first. Bring swords. Friends of Red Jenny. A poor drawing of the location in the market is attached. And let's do a quick update. Oops, wrong one. Since we all kind of leveled up. Let's see. 5% for every 10% missing mana. Oh, electric damage. 300% weapon damage. Yeah, we're taking that. Cassandra. Let's give her some damage resistance. And Solus. I don't know if I want Ice Mine, or maybe let's upgrade Three Mirrors. I do want to get to the speed bonus. And quickly into, I don't think, well, that works out better. We'll take that one. And no one's gonna need that. Oh, for Varric. Yay. That will get him closer to his Yeah, we'll give that to him. Okay. Off we go. VR.
My maker, know my heart. Take from me a life of sorrow.
It's Roderick's
Comfort
voice.
is only yours to give.
I like his mustache.
Oh, maker, where is the comfort? Look away. I have broken the chant because it comes from my heart. What have we when our divine is dead and the sky burns?
We'll fix it.
The Inquisition can give you the answers you need.
So I have a faith I've lost. Or one that seeks to drive it from me. I can't even look to our Templars. How is this not darkness?
Alright. Apparently there's no way I can help him. I don't think I've ever...
The Templars didn't even touch you.
I believe that messenger is trying to get our attention.
I guess we'll have to go over there in just a minute. Knot of heroes, united in hatred. If we are re-examining motive, let us not stop at the sons of the betrayer. For the first leader of young Orlais after the sons was... how do you say that? Jehavi? Jehavi? Chattel wife of 2 of them, but examine the facts. A proud daughter of the Syrian, chosen not unkindly by Izorath to be his bride, it was her reach that granted him power to unify. Consider what she witnessed in the consolidation of her people. She has always been portrayed with sadness, but what if when our nation was born, the game was born with it? Judge her actions not as property, but as master. And what changes? As victim, Izorath, rumored cruel, breaks the clans in a lust for power. His brother, Verald, exile from his own machinations in young Navarra, appeals to the saddened wife and promises a new path. The brothers vie, and Verald wins, and then demands the hand of I can't say this one, Jehavi? Another Ferelden greedy for power. In a decade, the shy victim Jehavi is the figurehead of the people's rebellion against the last son of the betrayer. As master, bound to rivalries far older, she harbors a hatred beyond Tevinter, and while Izorath is distracted with personal concern or with building a nation to withstand his own people's enemy, she invites the broken brother and sets him against the driven. While accepting marriage to the victor, Jehavi seeds rebellion among those who remember how their lands were taken not a generation before. Both leave her as ruler, as... I wonder what that is. I don't know what that is. But should not the rule of a victim been... should not the rule of a victim been uncertain? Jehavi rules for 42 years. There were no great swings backwards. No people's retribution, for she had become accustomed. If the goals of Izorath were selfish, and the goal of Jehavi was to reverse them, then Orlais is born of the failure of both. But if Izorath built his father's wall and Jehavi wanted revenge, then we are a nation of 2 successes, 2 parents in opposition, but in partnership. Excerpted from A History Not of Heroes, reading in The Ugly Heart of Change, collected by Philium, a bard. Alright, let's see what's up with this guy.
You are the Herald of Andraste, are you not? I have an invitation for you.
Invitation. First Enchanter Vivienne. You are cordially invited to attend my salon, held at the Chateau of Duc Bastien de Ghislaine. Yours, Vivienne de Fer, First Enchanter of Montsimard, Enchanter to the Imperial Court. Grand Book. Oh, I forgot. Wrong button again. Yay. No. Get him a little bit closer to faster speed. There we go. All right. Let's see. Grace of the Empire East. A plaque reads, "Welcome all before the grace of the Empire. Stage and audience for the use of all. For theater and business, for partnership and proposal. Be seen." A notice below reads, "This display reserved for Songs Traditional by Lord Bramford and his players." Cancelled.
What is the Grand Cathedral thinking? We must have a new divine. She will show us the way. This cannot stand. How can it stand?
I don't know. La pomme vie est morte. The apples nearest the cafe are said to change their taste depending on whether one is walking toward or away from the gallows. And of course they do, for taste is subject to the whims of the heart, and no meal is favored after tears. But dare it anyway, for none know the taste of joy such as we who do not shy from experience. From our Orlesian Heart by, formerly, Sister Laudine. I suppose that is a good point. Oh, hello.
Templars let you walk? Templars? What in blazes?
Hey, no.
And you? I don't know.
Judgy McJudgerson. Le Mas du Lion. We cheered when honored was her might, but many more deserve a thought. For though she was the first a knight, her ken and kind have always fought. From a plaque with the dedication Le Mas du Lion, sponsored by Princess Corinne's 1st Cavalry, for those we stood beside. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Madame Snippy Snip.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
The head of Madame Snippy Snips, mascot of Le Masque de Lion, named in jest but genuinely respected. The Grande Mame, as she is also called, was the last dragon brought down by Sir Koenig, the previous owner of the cafe. A spirited hunter, Koenig came of age in the years following the sighting that named the era. While others were quick to assume the tales of ancient Navarran dragon hunters must have been exaggerated, he tracked the gradual increase in dragon numbers and size. Koenig believed we had yet to see a true return of the beasts of legends, and that the specimens of his day were young, despite their ferocity. It is a cruel victory, but today we know Sir Koenig to have been correct, even as he may have fallen to his own expertise. He was years overdue from his last hunt, and for the rest of us, travel wary. What we thought to be the pinnacle of dragon strength may have been closer to adolescence. The sisters of Madame Snippy Snips may have left their siblings far behind. Excerpted and torn from a disposable walking tour of the capital by Philium, a bard.
Of course.
Not of heroes, Mafareth and sacrifice. Andraste, Our Lady, the sword in the fire against Tevinter, betrayed to the Empire in exchange for a kingdom. Mafareth, now synonymous with treachery. But would Andraste have won, and if not, what would we have lost? Let us look not just at the act, but at the why of it. As the armies of faith pierced the imperial homeland, it was revealed not as a wave, but as an arrow. And as any hunter will attest, if your aim is not true, there is no returning to the bow. We must consider how much of Our Lady's victory to this point was against the true Imperium, and how much was against the echoes of Empire. Andraste the Inspiration may not have considered such, but Mafarath the General fought for homeland, not visions. Was it victory or defeat that his betrayal held at bay? Mafarath made the deal that killed Our Lady. That is fact. And when Andraste died, Mafarath was gifted everything from the southern plains south. How generous and impossible to hold this must have seemed. Let us look at Mafarath and the legacy he divided among his sons, not with an eye for accusation, but from a tactical consideration, for he must have known that mere rivals had never stopped Tevinter. What if he set about creating peers, and none of this was an accident? Or was accident? How then fared Izarath, Evrion, and Verold? Exerted from a history not of heroes. Readings in the ugly heart of change. Collected by Philium, a bard. I love that. A bard! Well, at least that's how I read it anyway. What have we got? Here's the scarf. Favors for friends. A different, simple script on the back of a stable report marked with red paint. Thank you, friends, for helping good Lady Karis. Saw those who asked about Herald enter third passage. Could not stay to see them exit. Everybody's got my hairstyle.
Make a smile upon you.
Hello.
We maintain an Inquisition presence on Commander Cullen's orders. This has been received as you might expect.
I'm sure. Let's mark these. Boop, boop, boop.
Yes, thank you.
Open? Yes, as open as I can be. If you've a need for the well-cut or the sparkling, perhaps I can help.
I
At
just
the
want
very
to sell
least,
some
we
junk.
can appear like everything is normal. Yes.
Yes. Let's see, what is he? He's selling trinkets. Which, you know, this makes me think of the festival day gifts that from Dragon Age Origins that you give to, well, and even in Dragon Age 2, that you give to your party members to increase their favor or their how much they like you or dislike you, as with the festival day gifts. But this, to me, I don't know if it's a nod, it's a little bit of a throwback. The fact that he's here selling these things, you can't do a thing with them. But I wonder if BioWare had toyed with the idea of making gifting possible. So, let's, I just wonder. But we are here to sell some stuff, because I have stuff I do not need. So that gave us a good bit of revenue. Is there anything else we can get rid of? No elf fruit. Not selling my elf fruit or my blood lotus. Alright. Can't quite wear that yet, can I? I won't want it by the time I'm level 6.
They left us. The Templars left us to the Mages. Gentle liars.
Difficult time for those who have lost. While I understand concerns for propriety and the general dressing of the bazaar, I must caution that release is needed. We are suffering not just ongoing civil conflict pitting brother against sister, not just outright war pitting Templar against Mage, not just the loss of our most holy and the best of our leaders. We are suffering all three, as the sky is wounded for all to see. All we know of our world is threatened, along with all we know of the next. With this most grave notation, I ask that the writs of losses and missing remain, that the citizens, however indirectly, be allowed to post their griefs of known dead and the names of hopefully living, and with them their criticisms of how they have been told or not told. For while I have no doubt we as Orlesians will maintain our utmost composure, there must be release. There must be grief, there must be mourning. If not, if we do not allow this simple expression, we risk a greater outburst. Let our people shed their tears in as reserved a means as necessary. The market will be cleared in due course, but this day, this time, we must let this simple expression stand. Written by Captain Albion, Orlesian Guard, Summer Bazaar. Fish. Reservoir stocking evaluation. Tremors. Floating. Taste is off. Waterbirds die off. Restocking failed. Fish not fit. Do not consume. Thought that was kind of well known that the lake is lead lined to make it sparkly. So why anyone would try to fish out of there. Favors for friends. A red handkerchief folded around a key with a small hasty scrawl. Key lifted from drunk swearing about Herald. Don't know what door. I'm out. My debt is paid. What's over there? Haha, I love these. The Randy Dowager Quarterly, a waterlogged quarterly missive of suspect virtue. The Randy Dowager welcomes the blooms of spring with the collected I can't even say this. Calipigian Cuirassier, being a scandalous representation of Her Majesty's favored, caught in flagrante delectable. Can their uniforms and modesty withstand the assault? The Randy Dowager, exhibitions for the noble of thought but spry of step. The lady herself says, hardly a tethrus, but generously arousing if polished cuirass does it for you. And it should. 3 scarves fluttered in shock out of 5. RD. I like the rating system. 3 scarves fluttered in shock. Miroir de la Mer, Reville's Folly. Miroir de la Mer was cut from Valroyo in 849 Blessed. It was the will of the mad Emperor Reville, who demanded a reflecting pool large enough to draw his vain deceased mother back across the Vale. Many shops and vendors were evicted to make room for his folly, and several memorials to the heroes of the first 4 blights were simply toppled. The reservoir supports little in the way of life, as the bottom was lined with lead to increase its reflective properties. Reville intended it for divination, using boats as massive planchettes, but work was not finished until the week of his own death. The waters see little use today, save for lazy or fornication sojourns by the nobility aboard decorative gondolas. Excerpted and torn from a disposable walking tour of the capital by Philium, a bard. She is still trying to catch her breath, isn't she? Maybe you should get up. Someone drag her ass back into the chantry or something.
The Lord Seeker may not think you are a threat, but he's not here right now.
Yeah, you want to fight? I'll fight you. Say that to my face. Alright, I think this is a good place to stop in Bonnie Valroyo. Look how pretty she is. So pretty. So I shall say auf Wiedersehen, and thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next episode.